It's better to believe just in case. The most backwards. Christian logic. Ever Christians love to say, it's better to believe just in case. Let me stop you right there. Step 1. So you're saying, it's better not to know. So instead of seeking knowledge, instead of researching history, instead of studying origins, you choose to believe just in case? That means you're literally saying, it's better to stay ignorant, just in case the lie turns out to be true. That's not faith, that's fear. That's not wisdom, that's spiritual gambling. And yes, there's a name for it, Pascal's wager. The idea that it's safer to believe than not. But if you need a gamble to justify your God, you're not worshiping truth, you're avoiding it. Step 2. What did the colonizer believe about Jesus? Let me ask you a serious question. If Jesus and God were so powerful, so holy, and so real, why would colonizers give that God to the enslaved? You were forced to accept their religion at the barrel of a gun. You were whipped for speaking your native language, but praised for saying Jesus. You were banned from your own shrines, gods, and rituals, but handed a Bible to set you free. Does that sound like they were sharing salvation? Or does that sound like spiritual warfare disguised as religion? Step 3. History proves. This was never about saving souls. Let's talk facts. They didn't teach you math, language, or land ownership. They didn't teach you engineering or trade secrets. They only taught you Christianity. Why? Because it was the only tool they needed to control you mentally. After they broke you physically, they never shared power, only programming. And to this day, they still don't. Step 4. What did the colonizer learn from black people? Everything. Science, medicine, architecture, philosophy, agriculture, even spiritual systems, which they repackaged as their own. Black people saved Europeans from extinction, twice. First in Africa, then in the Americas, when native peoples helped them survive. And what was the reward? Slavery, colonization, genocide, forced religion. If Jesus was power, they would have protected it, not shared it. Step 5. Black people are the only ones keeping Christianity alive. Let's be real. Christianity in Europe is dying. Churches are empty across the West. But in Africa, the Caribbean, and the black diaspora, there are more black people in Christianity today than white Europeans. The religion that enslaved us is now empowered by us. We became slaves to the very system that was used to destroy us. And it doesn't stop there. Let's talk about Christianity's stepbrother, Islam. Step 6. Islam, same story, new cover. Brought to Africa through conquest and trade, not peace. Demanded submission. Literally, Islam means submission. Wiped out indigenous African spirituality in North, East, and parts of West Africa. Gave you Arabic names, Arabic laws, Arabic identity. Said your gods were false, your ancestors unclean. Same mental colonization, different prophet. Step 7. So let's ask again, if these gods were so powerful, why give them to you? Because it wasn't about divinity. It was about domination. You were trained to pray instead of plan, obey instead of think, forgive your oppressor instead of overthrow them, wait on heaven while they took your land. Final thought. If you're still believing just in case, ask yourself this. Why is the same system that enslaved you the one you now defend with your life? Why is the only God you know the one given to you in chains? You're not worshiping the Creator. You're worshiping your colonizer's blueprint. Awakening truth. If Jesus and God were power, they wouldn't have handed them to slaves. They would have used them to protect their empires, and they did. The only ones giving Christianity power now are the descendants of those it broke